Hello everyone. Today I was supposed to continue with you the topic of 1000 years of Chinese domination. But today I would like to introduce issues related to the current situation, associated with hot current events as a panoramic view, hoping to help you have an overview of the current situation. The important issue that is attracting attention. Today's history is never old in the spirit of Sima Qian's records. It is a place to record great lessons to teach today's generation. We will discuss and connect some events to explain or discuss some hot issues explaining the current world. According to Dai Viet's records in 1009, Long Dinh asked people to appoint people to oversee the exchange of goods in Chao, China. But Song only exchanged goods in Lin Chao and Tran Nhu Hong, which are border areas. According to Nam Kai Luok, the Song king thought that because he only often plundered the coast of the Song country, it was not convenient to trade in Chao according to the rules of exchanging goods. In Lin Chao and Tran Nhu Hong, the Song history recorded that Long Dinh was 126 years old but was cruel, tyrannical, and illegal, and the people in the country did not follow. However, the Vietnamese book also recorded that in 1005, Long Dinh brought troops to fight the Siu Long bandits at the seaport of then Phu Ninh Binh. The king returned to Song Tham and went to I Chao to fight the Siu Long bandits. In 1006, the king appointed the eldest son of the archer as Kai Fong Vong and gave him the adopted son of Lethu Li, So Vong, to stay. Yuan Ta, Lethu Huan was the Han king to be on the right. So is it true that the eldest son of Dinh was appointed as Kai Fong Vong and on the left is the battle of the enemy at Tu Long in I Chao in 1009, a king who is humane and has a son who can join the army. He cannot be 24 or 6 years old as the judgment and the image of the day commented on Long Dinh, who is 6 years old, is attached to the Girep in the escort of the weak father and son Lawa. Tham Kot is a native La Ui who killed the palanquin, which was originally an illegitimate court that made the Song dynasty hate Dinh even more. So the cruel, tyrannical, and illegal comments and the fact that he had to frequently quell rebellions are images that the people in the country do not follow. The frequent suppression of domestic rebellions was not only under the Dinh dynasty, even during the Lahone tea period, because he had to constantly fight according to the schedule of Fan Hoi Chu's intellectual charter. Lahone was the king that the Chinese gods had to use well. The chief of the mountain cave, the end of the rebellion was an indirect affirmation. King La Dai Han often went to suppress internal chaos. The image of the Louis Long Dinh v. de Quoc ancient China Song dynasty considered tyranny. Then we relate to the 101 powerful figures today, always present in the media as an illegal tyrant, sometimes wanting to abolish policies, also to create the premise for his American point of view. The current state of instability in America, such as like mental illness and food banks, is probably the result of the devil's excess 1929 secular top widely dispersed that is the result of American imperialism eliminating the value of real industrial production from the ground up to create glory America. Western civilization has always been a beacon of Enlightenment ideals, and the spirit of building a great legacy from Roman law and Greek philosophy. It was these values that laid the foundation for the great ideas of freedom and innovation that mankind has ever known. Although today we see many difficulties in the core of the American spirit, and the Western European foundation still has the potential to rebuild and aspire to restore the greatness that once made them glorious. Western civilization, especially the United States, has established a unique free market economic system in the world under the light of enlightenment and the spirit of freedom. This system has unleashed The creative energy of individuals leading to an explosion of wealth and technology never before seen. It is this great spirit that has allowed talented leaders to confidently break all the old rules and achieve the absolute great will with their steadfast will. Without having to follow any cycle or obligation, Russia. Before the October Revolution was a backward feudal agricultural state, forcing Russia to carry out the revolution to be able to mobilize all its strength to rebuild the industry, the pinnacle of which was the Russian defense industry that could absolutely threaten today. We know that after the Union collapsed until the Gisterland period, the Russian Federation was still seen by the world as being in decline. Underdeveloped, internally corrupt, with oligarchs in power, managing the national economy. But perhaps it was that chaotic situation that exposed the dark side of Russian society, which the Observer later nominated by Chesterland as Putin, who used to work in the KGB intelligence agency, easily cleaned up everything, making Russia stronger than ever. The open door policy and some flexibility of VKTO. The US and the West have created opportunities for China to rise, although their noble goal is to help small countries in the world move towards a world without borders and peaceful development, but unintentionally made them subjectively move the value of their exports to other countries without being able to carry out the campaign of hiding, feigning dissipation, and attacking the West. The secret of the civilization of the four great inventions is the paper table and explosives printed in the time of Tao. As a result, the US and the West have become heavily dependent on China to diversify their supply sources to meet their domestic consumption needs. The summit meeting between the two leaders Trump and Xi Jinping is a clear demonstration of the US in acknowledging China's wonderful spirit of overcoming difficulties and innovation. The world is moving towards a multipolar state. The US and the West cannot maintain the old status quo and strongly deal with Russia and China, which have become an ineradicable totalitarian regime, so that they cannot end the current instability. After a period of undeniable glory, America, with its unipolar role as world leader, is now in recession and collapse, such as housing shortage, homelessness, food shortage. The West, especially the Allies, also has certain divisions and instability. The basic events or technological breakthroughs remind us of the chaotic image of the time when China needed a strong and great person like Qin Shi Huang to do that, to quell the chaos and stabilize the current situation. Only when Qin Shi Huang is strong and powerful can America and Western Europe unite their will and achieve comprehensiveness, fight against all destructive factors, their core interests, and be praised by the great image of Qin Shi Huang. When America and the West unite their will the internal stability be more, the economy grow again, and the lives of the American people return to normal as the goal of America that President Trump promised? So, with my little sharing about the world situation, what do you think? The problem I have presented. If you want to give feedback or want to follow the channel, please click the like button and subscribe. And leave a comment below. I look forward to receiving your contributions. Goodbye and see you again.